And welcome to another edition of the Living Large Theater podcast, our first one for 2024. I'm Billy Santiago, along with Gary Rodriguez, my good friend of 36 years now, and our super producer, Noe Ayala. livinglargetheater@gmail.com is where you can reach out to us on email. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, the iHeart Podcast Network. If you want to become a sponsor of this fine show, reach out to our super producer, Noe, at 956-451-1633. Make sure after you listen, rate our podcast, share it with a friend, leave us a comment, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so the next time we have a podcast, we'll take it right to you, my friend. Gary, what's up, buddy?
Hey, welcome to the Living Large Theater starring Gary Rodriguez, Billy Santiago, and super producer Noe Ayala. Today we're broadcasting from Majestic Studios, courtesy of our generous benefactor, Ward Thomas. Thank you, Ward. The Living Large Theater, where admission's absolutely free. All you need is a sense of humor and a thirst for entertainment. And as Billy said, this is our first show of 2024. And I thought about coming on and doing a little bitching about the border and Biden and the price of biscuits, but I'm going to keep it positive. I think we have a lot to look forward to. First of all, I want to remind you, when you want to relax in style and you want to relax with a touch of class, I suggest Hacienda Dragon Tequila. Try Hacienda Dragon Añejo, Hacienda Dragon Extra Añejo, Blanco, and Plata. Those are made with 100% agave grown in the Mexican state of Jalisco. Just ask your local retailer to order Hacienda Dragon from their distributor. As we said, this is the first show 2024. Going to keep it positive.
So how you feeling, Gary? How you feeling,
I'm
buddy,
feeling pretty good, man. You weren't with us, but as we closed out 2023, Noe and I and the owner of our sponsor, Hacienda Dragon, Marco, we met with Larry Delgado, the owner of the Delgado Collective. He has Salt, he has House Wine, and he also has Salome on Maine. Mm-hmm. We met with him, and we introduced him to Marco. Holy mackerel, for a lunch, I'm telling you, I was wobbling when I got out of there because
that's right.
we had to sample all the tequilas that Larry has,
okay,
because he's going to do a comparison. You know, hey, I've already got great tequila here, but let me check out this Hacienda Dragon tequila. So by the end of the lunch hour, my goodness, it was I was a little bit sideways because as we were waiting on a few people, I started out with my customary Manhattan and had one or two of those. And Noe came in, and what did you have, Noe? You had
I had water first, man. That's what I had, yeah. And then after that, we had a what is it called, bozal? It was a margarita with mezcal in it.
Yes.
Man, that kicked me.
I'm telling you what, man. Larry Delgado, first of all, he's the guy who beat Bobby Flay. We had him on the show last year.
Exactly.
He beat Bobby Flay in Bobby Flay's own backyard, and he has just so much going for him. Him and Jessica do a great job training their staff, from the managers all the way down to the bus boys. Everybody has a key role to play at the Delgado Collective. A couple of guys I like Ken and Milton. Milton's over at Salt right now, and it's just a really, really nice place to go and dine and have a great meal. And if you're not eating, have a couple of cocktails. And it's also a great place to run into great people. You go there. I see Mike Ramey there quite often. Mike Hernandez, he's retired from the McAllen Fire Department. But, all in all, we closed out 2023 in a great fashion. And to me, I don't know about you, Bill or Noe, 2023 was just a bomb. I think it was one of the best years ever. And, I
concur, my friend.
Yeah, I see these people who, I don't know what world they're living in, but they think that just because 2024 or the next year is coming, that they can badmouth the year that they just went through. 2023 sucked. 2024 better be better. It ain't going to be better. You make it better.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. They think that just because the calendar changes from one year stated to
what you make
another.
of it, man.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys, man. We've picked up a couple of sponsors here, the Living Large Theater podcast. We're worldwide. Noe, explain some of the places where we are listened to with this podcast.
United Kingdom, Thailand, Mexico.
Billy, United Kingdom is England.
Okay, appreciate
Canada, that. Man, we're worldwide right now. We're actually been listening to Thailand a lot, man, for some reason, I guess.
I wonder why. Don't we have a teacher that was on the show there?
Lance.
There you go, Lance. What's up, Lance? How you doing, buddy? Happy New Year, man.
You know, I'll tell you what, man, we had Bobby Pulido on, and I sent the show to Joe Garcia. He owns Joe's Master. And, you know, yeah, we're always looking for sponsors, but that's not really the purpose. We're here to express our views and share some entertaining value with everybody that's listening. But Joe heard the podcast and he sent me a text. He goes, "Hey man, how much does it cost to advertise?" And I said, "We'll talk," you know. But for him to reach out to us, says that we're onto something. And I want to thank Billy. I want to thank Noe. And I want to thank all of our guests, man, from Steve Wise to Tim Smith to Fred Rodriguez to Roberto Pulido, Bobby Pulido, Max Decker, JD Mata. I mean, we've had a lot of high quality, very entertaining, knowledgeable, and nice people on this show. Yeah. And you know, I think it's I think people understand the value of picking other people's brains. And
I'm not going to go negative on this, but we're not a chancla podcast like somebody mentioned to me down the road.
Yeah, no. You know, we don't do, I mean, chancla jokes are out there, you know. But here's the deal. When you start with the chancla jokes, you got to do the abuela jokes. And after you start the abuela jokes, you got to start with the tamale jokes.
And
and you know, I mean, okay, I could never ever add to that list of jokes that have already been told because there's just so many that you know. She hit me with a faja. No shit. We all got hit with the faja.
No,
we're not going to make a joke about it.
My mom had the broom going on. Man.
My mom had everything in our arsenal: chancla, you know, broom,
la faja. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up. No, this is not chancla radio here, man. We strive to bring people on who, you know, I'm going to say it the way I think it. I strive to bring people onto the show that I think are a little more entertaining than me, are a little bit smarter than me, are a little bit more worldly than me, and in whatever their field is. And to me, it's an honor that they would bother to stop by the Majestic Studios here and let us pick their brain because I always know one of the easiest things to say is no. And if you can't live with that, say no. I don't have time. I prefer not to. I've never heard of you guys, but you know, we've not encountered that. When you go from, you know, racing legend Steve Wise to international musician Bobby Pulido, his father Roberto Pulido, state senator Chuy Hinojosa. I mean, when those guys are on this show, it's less about us and it's all about them.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Let me bring in our wonderful guest today, a guy who has made his mark here in the Rio Grande Valley in a field that is highly competitive. I venture to say, and I'll let him explain it if it happens, but to me, it's almost a little cutthroat. And to be a survivor and to be a success in this field, I think speaks volumes for all of them that are in this industry, and the industry is real estate. So we want to invite Jaime Gonzalez into the Majestic Studios. Jaime, thanks for being here today.
No, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Back to what you were just talking about. You know, people say 2023 wasn't as good as it should have been, and now we're jumping into 2024. It's a mindset.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a mindset. So, you know, I wanted to jump in and just say.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, because that only sort of leads me into, it's a great segue of what I was going to say. Is real estate a mindset? Or I mean, does your mind, is it able to direct you into the path of success?
Absolutely. It plays a huge role.
Talk about rejection in the real estate. You have to be able to deal with rejection.
Absolutely,
right?
You do. And you learn from everything. You know, being in the business, let me just introduce a little bit about myself.
Absolutely, yes.
I've been in the industry 5 years as of December 1st. I was in the medical industry for about 17 to 18 years. It was an outpatient rehab facility where, you know, I grew and met way too many people. So that has been part of my success in this industry now.
The meeting people?
Right. The, you know, sometimes they tell you, you know, it's not what you know, but who you know,
yeah.
You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2023 was the best year in my whole career, you know, leaving the medical industry and now jumping into real estate.
I think that deserves a round of applause. Let's have it, Noe. Get studio audience. Come on, put your hands together.
Bravissimo.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. So, yeah, you met a lot of people, but doesn't treating people well
Absolutely.
matter?
Being transparent. Being transparent, being honest.
Being nice?
Because being nice and being, not the nice guy. Because some people just, you have to mirror your client. In this industry, in order to be successful, you have to mirror your client. You're going to have that good guy, you're going to be a good guy. You have that, that guy, and you're going to be that guy. That's
your reputation.
Yeah, you have to. You have to just mirror your client. But yeah, that's been part of our success.
You can cuss here if you like to.
Okay, well, shit. If he's an asshole, I'm gonna be an asshole. If he's a jackass, I'm
break it down. Hey, let me ask you this: so you were doing rehab, running the rehab, and you went to real estate school. Did you go to the Champion School?
Right. Yes, I did Champions. I did it online.
Okay.
I took it step by step. I wanted to make sure I did the right decision.
Yeah.
So leaving that industry, going from a W-2 to a 1099. That's where the mindset kicks in.
Yeah.
I had a lifestyle. I was at a 6-figure income. I was doing great. And then you leave W-2 to a 1099.
You're making
it's
that
like,
leap,
what
man.
the hell am I going to do now?
Yeah.
So the mindset played a big role, and then, it was all about marketing. It was all about advertising. It was all about branding.
Yeah.
So I did that. I did that really, really strong. But then the most important thing for me was waking up and showing up.
Yeah.
I don't treat this industry as, I'm a real estate agent, I'm going to wait for a call. No, it was my turn to just lead generate and make sure I made those calls every single day.
Wow.
Starting at 7:30, 8:30 in the morning and not ending until 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
And understanding that now I was going to have to work maybe even on weekends because that's my clientele sometimes do work Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So you have to make time and be available for that.
Yeah.
Hey, Jaime, so at what point did you realize, okay, I made the good move. I made the right move?
I was probably 6 months into real estate. That I was already rocking and rolling. And, mind you, then COVID hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh.
And it's like, oh,
boy, that was a
shit.
damper.
What? Yeah. But guess what? That was
An opportunity.
an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
How?
A lot of the real estate agents in the industry have been in it for a very long time, and it was time to respect what the community and the county was telling us to do, stay home.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, fuck no. I can't stay home.
Yeah.
I'm literally, I need to go out there and hustle, regardless of the situation. Even if,
And did you?
I did. And it was a
Did you meet any opposition? Hey, guy, you're not supposed to be out on the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every single day.
You fight through that.
I couldn't even go into the headquarters at Keller Williams because we were on shutdown. I had an office there, so I would come in through the back and go upstairs to my office and, lead generate from there because I want to separate what was home to business. So I wanted to leave home to make sure that I went to the office to work.
Yeah. Interesting you say that because COVID impacted so many industries and arenas and fields in so many different ways. And, I never once even imagined how it might have affected the real estate industry.
And you know what? I think it impacted the real estate industry in a good way because a lot of times people were, before I started real estate, people were just calling to go see a house and people were opening doors like there was no tomorrow without doing a background check, without making sure that client was actually approved.
Yeah.
Now, when COVID hit, it was more of we got to do a thorough screening because we're not going to waste our time or our health to take you to go see a house if you're not approved.
Right.
Or if you're just out there to go, be nosy. So we went
or waste time.
And then so we did all that. Now it's continued to do that. We're able to make sure that every client that's going to go see a house.
You developed a game plan to
Right.
survive COVID, and that game plan that you developed because of COVID is what is kicking you through to the new year
Absolutely.
and the next year, the next
Absolutely.
year after that.
So, and I'm going to say this with a lot of pride. It took me 2 years to become the #1 real estate agent in the county.
How about a round of applause?
Yeah, there you go.
That's why we brought you on, man.
So on Sunday, December 31st, I was waiting for that report. I wanted to make sure that, I kept what I did the year before. So, I called my broker and I'm like, it's December 31st. Can I get that report that I've been waiting for from January the 1st to the 31st? So sure enough, I get the report and, proudly enough to say I became the #1 real estate agent in the county
Congratulations, man.
with over
Congratulations.
60 million in sales. And that was, to me,
60 million?
in sales.
Oh, golly.
Over 60 million. And
Attaboy.
for me, it was, yes, it's, money's great and,
It can't
lifestyle's
be everything.
phenomenal.
Money can't be everything.
But For me, it was just accomplishing and, meeting that goal that I had put and set together. So when they ask you, how was real estate in 2023? Because, we were on a shift. Oh my God, it sucked. Everybody was talking about interest rates going up,
Yeah, and they did.
They did. But guess what?
You still had to deal with it.
People were still buying.
People were still buying, because it's about educating that client. You want to make sure that you tell that client, don't lose the opportunity. Marry the house and date the rate. We'll refinance that later. Wow. Don't lose an opportunity, because a year ago, 2 years ago, you were buying a house unseen and spending all this money going above fair market value because interest rates were so low.
Yeah.
But then you were shooting yourself because you were buying at a higher price.
Right.
So now it's like, hey, get the house.
Yeah.
It was about educating that client. Buy the house. We'll refi later. You're going to buy the house at a good price, because right now houses are coming back to normal.
So it forced people to be a little more prudent, a little more practical, a little more logical about their. Do you have a specialty? Do you do especially residential, business, commercial?
I started doing a lot of residential, and then I shifted and transitioned into very high-end residential. I do high-end, homes, and this year, because the industry was so different in terms of interest rates and for homes, commercial was just it, and fourplexes and multifamily and all that stuff. So now I work a lot with builders, and I work a lot with developers. So that helped my business.
Oh yeah,
and in the end,
what kind of insight do they bring to you as a realtor? I mean, square footage,
everything you could possibly think of. But
that's
now,
interesting.
And just to mention, yes, we. Third year in a row being the number one agent in the county.
Third year in a row.
Wow. Attaboy.
And
Jaime, you're killing it, man. Congratulations.
I need to talk to you after this.
You want to buy a house?
No, he wants to get into business.
I want to get into business with you.
We're not hiring, sir. So the thing is that, I say this very clearly. I have a staff. And when I started this business, I came from, a multi-million-dollar industry, the medical industry.
Yeah.
So I knew how to, I was fully aware that I needed to have the manpower in order to succeed.
Yeah.
And in this industry, a lot of people want to do it on their own. There's no way.
Yeah.
To have gotten the numbers that where I'm at today, I have a director of operations, transaction coordinator, listing coordinator, executive assistant, marketer, and 8 realtors. So coming into this industry, I knew that I had
8 realtors under you.
Right.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
That's huge.
It is. But since the very beginning, I knew that I had to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And that was
flat out.
part of the, and I
But you saw the vision. You go, if I invest in my product right now, I'm going to benefit 3 or 4 years down the road.
Absolutely.
And it's come earlier for you.
And it did, so I was able to have somebody in the office working, the legwork, working the documents, working the emails, and I'm out there, meeting people. I'm out there, just
You're hustling.
Yeah. You're making the deals.
You should see some of the houses that he's listed, man. Gorgeous.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Let me. So Noe and Jaime, you guys known each other for how long?
I've known Jaime probably during CAV. Remember CAVs? The way back in the days. I think that was the last time I saw you.
And then it went years that I hadn't seen you until not too long ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's been years.
Yeah, it's been.
That's good,
years,
man.
Years. I'm very proud of you, man.
Gary and
That's
I
awesome.
started working together back in '88 when I first started, and then he left the business in '99. We've been friends for 36 years, man.
There you go.
We've been through the ups and downs and stuff. It's so nice to see.
And
somebody.
we created most of the ups and downs.
Yeah, but it's so
You
nice.
were part of it.
It's so nice to see somebody like yourself who took that leap of faith and switched careers.
Sink or swim.
44 years in the radio business. I thought about it going into the cruise business back in '84. Then I thought about
He wanted to be a teacher.
doing teaching.
Sure.
But radio kept calling me back, man, but you made that leap, man. And Gary back in '99, man, he left the radio business.
Yeah, I went to go work for Eloy Pulido when he was county judge. And never really, I got back a little bit, mostly voice work. I think I did a couple of shows after that, radio shows. But to me, radio was just something I used to do, as I think the medical field is something that you used to do.
Right.
And now you're doing blazing work as a realtor. What do you do when you need legal advice? I mean, do you have you carry a
we do. And that's one of the reasons I'm with Keller Williams. Keller Williams is the #1 brokerage in the world, so
wow.
I have all, and a lot of people tell me, you're so successful, why do you have to be under an umbrella? For me, it's just being able to know that my client's going to be represented at 100% because compliance takes care of everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Everything's just a phone call away.
That's awesome.
You know, so that really helps
And
me.
do you pay a licensing fee
You
yearly?
do, you do, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's expensive.
Well, you
in
said
term-
it. Yeah, to make money, I got to invest money.
Right. So, you know, there's a cap. You know, you have to pay a fee in every transaction until you cap.
Yeah.
And some people go 10 months without capping. Some people go a year without capping. Some people take 10 months. Two consecutive years, it's taken me 20 days to cap. So I go 100% commission.
Wow.
So
Boy.
That's awesome.
that helps me, you know, just make sure that I put everything, you know, in order to get to where I'm at.
Let's get to something that I think our listener, wherever he or she is right now, is also wanting to know about conditions. What's the condition right now? I mean, I'm ignorant as far as, you know, your daily challenges.
Sure.
I'm talking about the down payment, the interest rates. Are they up, down? I mean, tell us what.
Interest rates have been they've been up for quite some time, you know, but now we're seeing them shift and come a little bit low, not way too much, but it's never going to be the right time, you know.
I like
said,
that. I like that.
Yeah, because you know people say, "Oh, I'm going to wait till the interest rates drop."
And you'll keep waiting.
It's
and you'll
never
keep-
going to be
yeah,
pre-COVID.
yeah.
You know, get over it. It's never going to happen ever, not in your lifetime.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's about educating. Yes, they were all over the place, but you know, here comes a new president. Here's elections, and they're going to come down. So it's different for every client. You know, some clients can come in with very low interest, very low down payment just because of their, you know, their structure of loan. But in the end, that's what we're here for. We're here to educate them. We're here to guide them and make sure that they get the best, you know, advice that they need.
Well, you've got the best advice, that's for sure.
Jaime, if somebody's looking to invest in real estate,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just buy properties, what's
Land.
land right now?
Yeah, land. Fourplexes is also a great thing, but land is one that you come in, you know, take your time to develop, and then you sell.
Yeah.
You know, and
fourplexes are still good investments.
right. Yeah, they are.
A friend of mine and her husband bought a fourplex, and the reality became that it didn't matter who they rented to, either a cop, a border patrol, a teacher, whatever, that somebody was going to trash that unit on their way
Right.
out.
It happens all the time.
What
though.
happens? I mean,
It's going to happen. You have to make sure that. But how bad can they trash it? You know,
That's true.
Put money aside to just come in and.
Well, that's
you
why you
know,
have a security deposit.
Right.
Yeah.
And
one
for the
lady
most
left
part-
a fish in the refrigerator and moved out. Didn't tell anybody. Just packed all her shit and left. But left the fish. I think it took them. They used coffee grounds. They used cans of Lysol to finally get that apartment back up to snuff where they could rent it out again.
But that's 1 in a million.
So
it's going to be 1 in a million.
That's good.
What do you think is the fastest growing area here in Hidalgo County, or in the valley in general?
Okay, Edinburgh. Edinburgh is
I know,
is
man.
exploded.
I live in Edinburgh.
Yeah,
I'm
I do
seeing
too.
subdivisions left and right.
I do too, and I love Edinburgh. I love our city mayor. I love living in Edinburgh. I was living in Sugarland for many years. Moved over to Edinburgh 3 years ago, and it's a city it's huge.
Yeah,
it's on
it just
steroids.
continues to grow.
The
yeah.
valley is a San Antonio on steroids.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we're just
we're not going back.
Yeah,
we're not going back.
Exactly.
We're actually
now
going north,
I'm
right?
seeing where we're going. We're going east.
East.
You know,
Okay.
we're going east.
Okay.
We're now, you know, catching up and trying to grab a little bit of Harlingen and, you know, Westlaco, Harlingen, getting into
On the
Brownsville.
north side,
yeah,
the northeast side.
exactly.
Hey, Jaime,
So-
why is it taking Harlingen so long to grow?
You know, it's a question that I get all the time. Brownsville, the same thing, you know, but now that
I have a theory on Harlingen, and I could be
Politics.
wrong, but no, it's that Harlingen purposely has almost a no growth mentality.
no,
that
they do.
They don't want it to
They
be.
don't want it to grow.
Yeah.
They did not want it to
Yeah,
grow.
exactly.
Now it's that the people that were, you know,
In charge
taking
of it.
in charge they're no longer in charge. You know, now they've been bombarded.
There's new blood coming
There is
in
new
with
blood,
different
yeah,
ideas.
yeah,
That's what's needed sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, you ever
So-
see that show $1 Million Listings New
Yeah,
Yorker?
you know, I've seen it once or twice.
Really? I love that show,
Everyone's
man.
asked me, and you know, I don't have time.
I like it.
And it's like,
I don't have time.
I watch it through.
look at me. I'm not gonna look at you.
I watch it to see the dynamics that because their struggles are the same ones you have. Just so
Right.
that, they're in L.A.
Sure.
or New York, but they have the client that doesn't show up for the meeting, so
Right.
that's a waste of your time.
Right.
They have the client who is trying to get them, lower than what the market is, and I'm sure you have those challenges too.
All the time, and going back to marrying your client. But the most important thing is just making it very clear. I'm your listing whore. I have over 200 and some listings.
Yeah.
Listings is leverage. So I do a lot of listings and meeting appointments with clients that are wanting to sell. They have a mind of their own, and they think, their property is worth a certain amount of money, which in reality it probably does, because they've put all their hard work and effort into this property, and you can't take that away, but numbers don't lie.
Right.
So there's an equation to every transaction. So you just make sure you're transparent, and they might want 7. I just came from a listing appointment. I was literally at a listing appointment this morning at 9:00. His idea of selling his house is at $825,000. It's $870. It's $679.
Yeah.
And
How hard is that for you to convince him of the reality of what it is?
well, we
So
can
that was the appraised value, 679.
right, because we go off comparables of what's sold around the area.
Okay.
So I came in with my report, and I'm at 675. He's at 850 or whatnot, and I said, Mr. Seller, I do not want to disagree with you, but we have to agree to where reality is.
Yeah, be more
I
realistic.
don't want to waste your time or my time.
Can you meet halfway on that?
Right, and you can.
Okay.
I can even go all the way to where he wants to be, but I want him to understand that it's not going to sell.
Yeah.
It's not going to sell because the bank's not going to approve a loan at that. The bank's not going to want to walk in with their feet underwater. So we can do multiple things. I not list it. I'm not going to waste my time, spend my money, because I have to spend money on getting a photographer out there, getting my signs out there. Just to have a listing makes no sense for me.
Yeah. So the comps do matter. The
Absolutely.
comparable. Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. So then in the end, what ended up happening was, okay, we kind of met in the middle. However, I said, okay, Mr. Seller, okay, we're at 675. You were at 850. He's like, okay, can we do 740 or whatnot? Yeah, we can. However, I'm only going to try it for 30 days. You're going to sign an amendment right now stating that we're going to bring it to the comparable price that I'm telling you it should be.
Yeah.
If in 30 days we're not under contract, I'm not even going to call you. I'm going to list it at 675.
I got you.
Perfect. Okay, great.
Oh, good.
Okay, so I went with what he wanted, and then he went with what I wanted. So we met in between. And
Okay.
What do you think about those billboards of these realtors who, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I just want to know how they do it. If I don't sell your house in 30 days, I'll buy it myself.
makes
Say it.
no comment.
Say it.
Is that a real offer? I mean,
no, there's no way. There's no way. And I know that there's small clause in there where, it probably states that, it's going to be at a price lower than fair market value in order for it to have that happen, because there's no way.
So
There's
going
no way.
back to your seller, he wanted what, 875?
850.
850.
Comps were at 675.
Okay, so let me ask you this: Is he sentimentally attached to that value that he's making that price, or he's getting bad advice?
He's going based off a house I just have under contract next door, but that house next door is 1,000 square feet bigger.
So there's a reason.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we base ourselves off square footage,
Okay.
and price per square footage. So if the house next door was 5,000 and his is 3,500, that's where the discrepancy is and where he wants to be.
But he wanted more value.
Right,
on his
right. The
house,
other house had a pool. His did not have
Yeah.
a pool. There's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration.
Let me ask you this: material. I know concrete or cement, whatever they call that shit, is more expensive now. Wood's more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that come in on the bottom line? Is that the end price of the house on what went in, along with the square footage?
Right. And that everything had to be adjusted after all the prices per square, all the prices on materials went up.
Yeah.
In the end, a builder's not in it just to build. A builder's in it to make money.
Yeah.
And builders for a very long time didn't believe in us. Didn't believe in realtors. Now, when when you come in and you bring value and you make sure that you're going to give them more money for what they were actually going to get selling it themselves, it's a no-brainer. And I do represent a big amount.
Because that's what you do. You sell real estate. They build the real estate.
That's right.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, this comes to multifamily duplexes and stuff. Wasn't there a Fannie Mae initiative announced a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, November 19th. to where you can get you can purchase at a 5%.
Right.
Yeah. So, commercial used to be, you need to come in at 20%. Now you're able to purchase at 5%. You have to live in one though.
Yeah, you have to live in one. Okay.
And
Wow.
let me ask you something. Some of these properties that you see, you have to say no sometimes to it, and is that difficult because of the fact that you actually see the value and say, you know what, this could sell at this price, and they don't listen to you, or how does that work?
Ask me the question again.
Like right now, you were talking about that guy. Say for
yeah. No hard feelings. And you recommend them someone else that's going to have the time to just dedicate themselves to that
There you
particular
go.
property.
But you're being honest with them.
Sure. And you don't want to just leave them out dry. So.
Hey, we're talking with Jaime Lee Gonzalez. His phone number is 956-599-8400. You can reach him online at Jaime, Jaime, at jlgrader.com, correct?
JLGRealtor.com.
JLG. Well, I'm blind, so please forgive me. Jaime, now I want to get this right. Jaime at JLGRealtor.com. And I could talk to you for hours. I know we could, but we do have a time limit.
Okay.
Give us a parting shot here, and then I'm going to recognize our sponsor, and then Billy's going to take us out. Give us a parting shot about realty, the future, how you see it, or, invite somebody to call you just to sit down
Absolutely,
and talk.
guys. We're here. I'm located at 1715 West Trenton. Right now is the time to invest. If you're in the business of buying, selling, or investing, please call me. My number is 956-599-8400. On Instagram, you can find me at reliablerealtor.com or JaimeLeeGonzalez.com, and we're here to assist.
We're bringing you back because I have a lot more questions for you. Hey, when you want to relax in style and you want to relax with a touch of class, I suggest Hacienda Dragon Tequila. Try Hacienda Dragon Añejo, Hacienda Dragon Extra Añejo, Hacienda Dragon Blanco, and I haven't been drinking, I promise.
One job.
And Hacienda Dragon Reposada. It's made with 100% agave grown in the Mexican state of Jalisco. Ask your local retailer to order Hacienda Dragon from their distributor.
It's the Living Large Stater podcast. livinglargestater@gmail.com is where you can communicate with us at. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, the iHeart Podcast Network. Reach out to our super producer, Noah, if you want to become a sponsor of this fine show, 956-1633. Rate our podcast. Give it a 5. This is a 5 right here, ladies and gentlemen. Share it with a friend. Leave us a comment and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification when we have a new podcast. Until the next time, have yourself an awesome week. Take good care. Keep living large, because you know why? We're living large.